Welcome, Solara here. Welcome to my newest subscribers. Thank you for your likes, your shares, and your subscribes. I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you if you're coming over from TikTok. I'm keeping it kind of dark because I was just doing some scrying before I begin. It's something that I'm actually pretty new at, but I'm new at, let's put it this way, I'm new at it in this incarnation. I'm waking up to it more now. My team have been pushing me more into trying this. So I've been scrying with water and also candle wax. And I really did enjoy it. It was a different way of using my skills to get messages, and I probably will do that more often now. So I want to tell you what came through. Okay, please only ever take what resonates, throw out what doesn't. My messages are all about exposing certain things that you're divinely and intuitively picking up on, and these are the messages that are here to help you get free. Okay, help you get free of the lies that are trying to bind you and distort your reality, and help you to get free by utilizing the power of trusting your own intuition and your own power through receiving confirmation by way of my messages. Okay, so I think it's really important to share these kinds of messages because so many of us receive downloads, right? Especially as we get deeper into our journey, and the information we receive is either so like mind-blowing or heartbreaking that we either go deeper and risk going deeper, or we put a wall up against it. Or sometimes we battle with it and we're just like, is it real? Is it real? And our guides won't let us, our team won't let us get away with it. So I've been there. I'm still there most of the time. So I just feel it's better to out these things, because if they're coming up right now, it's because they need to be released from the collective consciousness, because a lot of things have been going on in the dark that many of us were not aware of, and they've had a grave effect on how we've lived our lives, our ability to love, our ability to prosper, especially as divine beings or as chosen ones. Because the sad thing is, many people knew about who you are before you did, and they took full advantage of that. That's just, the way it is. I'm going to get straight into these downloads, so I don't want to keep talking too much. So some things that were coming out. Okay, so one message was that you're getting your wings. Some of you are literally getting your wings. You've been through a period of profound transformation, and it's time for you to take off. You might be seeing butterflies. You might be going through a period where you're feeling very dark and down. And I want to let you know that those periods when you're feeling dark and down, when the mental chatter gets the loudest and the emotional stuff kicks up the most, it's actually oftentimes when you are on the cusp of a breakthrough, right? And the only way that you can stop yourself from moving through that breakthrough energy is if you believe the lies that want to keep you trapped in a timeline whereby you keep on repeating those thoughts and those feelings, I should say. Okay, so you should know that a lot of what's happening right now in terms of people who don't want you free or want you finding out about what it is they've done and what it means for you, a lot of the way they're going to attack you is through confusion, is through isolation, is through trying to make you feel bad, in some ways trying to exclude you or shun you because you've chosen to move away, attacking crown chakra and dreams a lot right now. So if you wake up feeling a little bit discombobulated, or you wake up feeling different than you did when you went to bed, be aware. Okay, some of it you might even feel it physically. I know the other morning I woke up and I felt very dizzy, but it wasn't a physical dizziness. It wasn't like I was gonna, because I've suffered from like things that have caused me to be physically dizzy. This wasn't it. It was like my energy center was spinning, and anyway, just be aware that a lot of confusion wants to come in right now to take you back to where you were. And a lot of the ways that's going to manifest in your reality is causing this very intense energy of self-doubt, of even depression, of all of this. And know that right now, in the lead up, especially to Christmas, this is going to be intensified. A lot of you have made the choice to separate yourself from groups. A lot of you might be spending Christmas alone for the first time because of that decision, okay? Know that this time also, we just had winter solstice yesterday, and we have the new moon in Capricorn happening tomorrow. Okay, so this year the solstice and the new moon energies are lining up together, which means that the sun and the moon were waning together, going into their darkest period together. Okay, traditionally, the 3 days after solstice, the days that lead up to the 25th of December, are the darkest days of the year. It's when it's when it's said that the sun actually stops moving. So it makes its descent down to the southernmost part of the earth. It sits for 3 days before it recalibrates itself to begin to move back up north and wax in a northern direction, right? And then when we get to the equinox, it means that finally the sun is rising directly from the east instead of having like a southeasterly direction, okay? So know that there's a lot of darkness right now. There's a lot of ways that people who are malicious or want to throw that kind of energy at you are trying to utilize the power of what is happening in the earth right now in this dark period to cause confusion. But know that while it may be dark, you are the light. You hold the light. You are the sun, and you're coming back up. You're coming back up. And this is what they know too. If you are a divine being who is in your power and your truth, you've done the work, you've done the healing, you've removed all of the facades and the illusions, so much so that when they try to come your way, you feel it badly in your energy. And this is something else you should know, okay? If you are feeling very sad, confused, depressed, and it's just come on suddenly, and this is not to say for people who actually struggle with these energies, like get professional help you need anytime you need it. We're never above that. Not even none of us are above that. I seek therapy too, because it's important that we have that outlet. But I'm talking about if you suddenly, like I said, wake up, or you feel these energies growing. The point of them is to make you feel like you're going backwards. But here's something that you should know, right? If you feel it very succinctly, it's not because you're going backwards. Sometimes it's because you've done such profound healing on your own energy vehicle that when people throw it at you, you feel it even more succinctly. Okay, especially if these are people who you are close to, or there are multiple people at work. And whoever this reading is for, there are multiple people at work, and I will get into that. So realize that, but know, like I said, you are the light, and you are, this is a time for us to sit still in the darkness, recognize the power we hold, recognize that we are the light, recognize that there's no amount of darkness that anyone can throw our way to cause the sun, our sun, not to rise. Recognize the illusion and push past it, okay? Because many of you have already gotten your wings, and it's like you are in the final phases of the cocoon and y'all are about to bust out and fly, okay? If this is your message, there are missing pieces of the puzzle coming together for you now. Bits of information that you need in order to make a decision moving forward, or in order to see the picture clearer of what has been happening around you or in your life or on your journey. The pieces are coming together. And as the pieces come together, you're going to begin to see a chain of events unfold, okay? For some of you, there are exposure energies that are about to come out in the world of the law and justice system. Okay, so for some of you, you might have What I'm getting here, it's not really people who necessarily are like in legal cases now. You could be, but what I'm really getting here is that there's about to be, and I don't know the timing of this, but there's about to be a bunch of judges that are about to be exposed for like taking bribes and taking like the law into their own hands, and taking money from individuals to give certain sentences, to do all of that. And you're going to find that by these judges being exposed, that there's a connection between something that's occurred for you that's kept you stuck or kept you bound, that's going to be released because of these judges being exposed. And for some of you, it's because when that happens, it's going to be public knowledge that someone either that you know or somebody that was working against you, whether you knew them or not, had been involved in paying off a judge with something to do with you, okay? You are getting answers, in other words, that will lead to emancipation. And when I'm talking about emancipation, I'm talking about it on all levels. In terms of spiritual emancipation, I feel like if you're here, many of you, that's done. For many of you, you were bound on the astral. You were in prisons, you were in boxes, you were kept small, you were kept contained, you were kept controlled. That part is over. Now, the main stuff that they're throwing at you because they couldn't keep you bound astrally, once you start to wake up and everything, you break yourself out of that. But what they're still trying to do is to keep you stuck on the mental and the emotional planes, right? And of course, your thoughts and your feelings combine together to create your physical reality. So you've been creating a lot of your own reality from the premise of being stuck in energies that don't belong to you. Okay, so for some of you, the emancipation is coming. It's releasing you on a mind level. It's releasing you emotionally. And when that happens, it's going to help you to make decisions that help you to prosper and move forward in your own divine power and truth. For some of you, physical, material circumstances that have had you stuck are going to begin to open up too. These people who don't want this to happen, they know it's coming, you know, because just as your breakout is coming, your breakthrough is coming. What goes up must come down, the wheel of fortune. Either you're riding the top or you're being crushed by it. As you get free, they come under some kind of containment. It's of their own doing, right? But this is kind of how it works, energetically speaking, okay? So because of that, they're trying their best to delay this, prevent it, stop it, which they can't. Especially as you stand in your power and your truth, they can't do shit. And as such, they're trying to bind you with fear. Fear about anything that would cause you fear. They're playing on whatever it is that you fear. Whether you have fears around money, fears around being alone the rest of your life, fears about health, fears about whatever it is. Those are the areas right now that it feels like they're coming under real attack. But recognize that when this occurs, it actually is a way of you releasing the fear around that energy if you know how to navigate it with skill. And the way you navigate it with skill is you don't allow that fear to make you its bitch. You be very real about the things that you're afraid of, but be very real that you're powerful enough that you don't have to be in fear, that you are a divine being, and that everything on your path is therefore taken care of. For as long as you're walking in your truth, there's nothing to fear. There's nothing to fear. For some of you, the attacks might even be in your body. You might feel it in your lower and your middle back. You might wake up in the middle of the night. I'm not talking about like chronic long-term conditions, but I'm talking about waking up in the middle of the night and feeling something in your back, right? Like where your kidneys are, especially because your kidneys store your fear. Your kidneys also control the flow of the fluids in your body, right? And your fluids are connected to water energy, which is all about your intuition, your emotions, your dreams. It's all interconnected, right? And so when your kidneys are like under attack, or that area of your body, it's trying to keep you emotionally unbalanced, but it's also trying sometimes to get into your dreamscape, okay? So be aware if you feel that that's what it is, but you should know it's on its way out, because the more that these people, energies try to come at you at this point on the path, there's very little they can do to like bind you. You might feel the residual energy, you might be bothered by it, but unless you buy into it and give them a foothold by believing that you're bound in any way, they can't do anything. I was picking up also that some of you have very strong protection from snakes and dragons, right? Which are the energies that control, that they don't control, but they protect. They protect the grid of the earth. They protect the ley lines. So the message that was coming through with that is that your earthly affairs are protected. Some of you, there's a Chinese connection in this. Take that as it resonates for you, okay? Calla lilies were coming in also. I saw calla lilies in the when I was scrying. As far as I know, I didn't look this up. You might want to look this up. You might already know. It might just be a message and you're just like, oh, that's for me. I think calla lilies are actually associated with death, which would make sense because another thing that was coming up was some kind of deadly flower and nightshade glamour magic that has been happening. I'm going to get into that message as I move down because there was more coming in, but I don't want to lose what I'm saying here. There was another, I was seeing also dandelions in the, as I was scrying, and the message that was coming through is overcoming adversity, because dandelions are what we consider to be weeds, right? And weeds, which are just the most coolest, most resilient ass. You know, like I adore weeds. I adore their energy, their life force, because they are beyond resilient. They will grow out of the pavement. Okay, they have, because they are able to grow out of such harsh circumstances, they're survivors, they're survivalists. Because they're able to do that, they are actually the plants that produce some of the most potent medicines that we need in order to get our systems back into balance. So for some of you, that's a message too. Dandelions in herbal medicine, you can use them in a variety of ways. You can use the root, and you can use the leaves, you can drink it in tea, etc., etc. Most of the time, we use the root and we use the leaves. And the root is very powerful for liver cleansing and clearing out the digestive system, also gallbladder health. And I don't know too much about the tea. I think the tea also helps digestively and possibly with like clearing of the blood. A lot of the weeds that begin to appear around springtime are really good for clearing out the lymph, the blood, all of the ways the system has become sluggish over winter, right? But the message that was coming through is that you are overcoming adversities that were meant to take you out with the calla lily energy, the deadly nightshade. A lot of these energies were sent out to destroy you, to cause you to self-destruct, to cause you to drown in these energies. That was the point of them. And you've overcome adversity. You have flourished and bloomed in the same way that a dandelion does, okay? And there's something also about dandelions being able to spread their energy so far because, you know, the stage of the dandelion with I forget the name of it, the literal name of it, but you know, when it's all fluffy and beautiful, like just think about how far those parts of the dandelion travel, and then they fall down on the ground and they become dandelions again. Like whatever it is that you possess, that these energies, people, situations have been trying to keep you from accessing, it's prolific. You're potent. This is why the energies against you have been so strong. Okay? I was also getting, there's a trail. There's a trail. So these people thought that they didn't leave a trail, but they have. They've been so much more messy because a lot of them are arrogant and they thought they'd never get caught, you'd never know. But there is a trail. There's real evidence that's going to out some of these people. So it's not just things that have been occurring spiritually, but there is material evidence also. So we have astral octopus energies. And this is all about spiritual transfers and transference. What I was getting here is that some of them were messing around with your inheritance. Everything that occurs on the earth plane happens first in the spirit realm. Okay, so some of you are like, another thing that was coming through was there was B energy, which is all about having royal DNA and being a part of an Egyptian timeline. And indeed, a lot of these people that have been working against you are nemesis from this time, your ancient Egyptian timelines. Some of them, you know, this is the first lifetime you've been back together since then, but for many of you, these are people who've shown up for you shown up throughout many incarnations. Okay, this is like an ongoing beef. Okay, but what was I saying here? So yeah, there's something about that trying to transfer your spiritual riches from you to them and then accumulating them materially. That's what the astral octopus energy is. The astral octopus energy also speaks of sexual energy, like utilizing certain sex rituals in order to get this done. Yes, is that it? Water, of course, the ocean can be a big energy too. These people, these people are afraid now of their own shadow. They're afraid of their own shadow, okay? They're afraid of their own shadows because although you might be feeling some of this stuff that's coming to you, it's nothing compared, first of all, it's nothing compared to what used to be thrown at you, and it's nothing compared to what they're throwing at you now. And they've like powered up in intensity and in numbers, right? But what's happening is that a lot of that stuff, because it can't enter into your energy field because you are sovereign and you keep on reclaiming command over your energy, or if you're not doing that, this is what you need to be doing, okay? What's happening is that the mental magic, the fuckery that they're trying to send your way, the fear projections they're trying to send to you are being returned to them. So you might be feeling the residual energy, but they're getting the brunt of it. And some of this stuff is actually going to drive them crazy. And it's going to manifest for them in different ways. It might manifest literally in some form of like mental and emotional illness or breakdown, but it can also, you should know this, manifest with neurological disorders suddenly being diagnosed, okay? And I'm not wishing this on anyone. I'm just saying this is how energy works. You put this out to try to destroy someone, don't be surprised when it comes back on you. Some of them will also be having issues with their kidneys because they tried to send you stuff to put your kidneys out of balance, or what it is that they sent you, the physical manifestation of how that occurred caused that because they were trying to cause such grave imbalances for you emotionally and intuitively and in your dreamscape, that's what's coming back on them. You should also know that the kidneys are concerned with Libra energy. It's all about keeping you in balance, okay? It's Virgo and Libra energy, but mainly Libra energy. A number coming up, 55. So there are either 5 to 10 people involved in this, right? Directly. That doesn't even involve the people that could be involved indirectly, but 5 to people involved directly. And these are the people that you might know, okay? 5 is also speaking about changes. 10 is speaking about endings, okay? There was some kind of deadly flower, nightshade, glamour magic that was being thrown at you. And again, this was a form of death magic, but it was glamour magic in order to keep, it was part of how they kept you isolated. They utilized the power of deadly nightshades and deadly flowers. They utilize the energy of this to cast illusions over you, so that partly that your connections with other people would never really take off and root, for one thing. And also the way you were perceived, the way other people perceived you. They saw you as being someone that they had to push away. It's almost like this energy of you're not a safe person, right? This is what I was getting. As the pieces come together for you, they're betraying one another. So yeah, as the pieces of the puzzle are coming together for you, as the chain of events start to unfold, they are falling apart. They are betraying one another. There is a severe lack of trust happening. They don't know in the group who to trust at this point, and they're going to start outing themselves and one another out of fear. So they're all going to start, as everything comes together for you, everything's going to fall apart. Because that's the nature, again, of energy. Once you stand up to it, it cannot stand. Not when they're trying to do something against you. Your energy belongs to you, okay? You command your energy. When other people try to get involved with playing God over you, and you wake up and you are a divine being and you access your power, it's a wrap for them. It's over, okay? So there's also some kind of plea deal energy. So some of these people were involved in things that were not only breaking spiritual laws, but they were breaking physical laws too. And as such, their outing someone else from the group might get them like less time, or just get, parole or whatever it's called, like when you get free, but you have to be monitored. Yeah. That's all I have. It was a lot, but that's all I have. I'm just making sure. Yeah, that's all I have. So, yes, I actually really enjoyed the scrying. Let's go into the Moonology Oracle and see what we have coming out here. I'm not going to say for sure, but when I'm done with this reading, I'm probably going to post like a few readings that have shorter messages, but they will be in connection with this energy. So I think that's what I'm going to do. That's what my guidance is right now, to do maybe 3 or 4 like really like 10 to 15 minute readings that just focus on short messages surrounding this energy, so that you can go into that if you want more, or people who go into those messages and want quick messages just so confirmation can get them, or they can come here for something longer too. I think that's what I'm going to do. But in the meantime, let's get into this. Let's get more messages around this main message, please, Spirit. Let's get more messages. Answers you need are coming. It's very interesting because this didn't want to come out. It came out and then it pushed itself in. It's the full moon in Gemini. The answers you need are coming. So yeah, something has reached saturation point. I think we are retrograding. Mars is retrograding through Gemini, I think, until January 12th. So there's something about Mars moving out of Gemini. Maybe the next time the moon is in Gemini. Something about this last full moon in Gemini, or Gemini season for some of you guys, where there will be nothing left that could be hidden in the dark. There will be full illumination of the answers that you need. Okay, so take that as it resonates. Another one that wanted to come out was a full moon in Cancer. A personal issue reaches resolution. I believe the full moon in Cancer is occurring on January the 6th. I think it's Friday, January the 6th, the full moon in Cancer. So for some of you, between now and January the 6th, there will be answers coming out that help you, the situation resolve itself for you. Okay, for some of you, the Gemini and the Cancer energy is 3rd and 4th house. So make sure you look in your charts and see where that is. Also, you might be a Gemini, they might be a Cancer, Gemini. You might be a Gemini or a Cancer. This could just be energy. You could be dealing with a Gemini or Cancer. Because it's full moon energy, it actually also is Capricorn and Sagittarius energy. So there's something very significant about Sagittarius and Capricorn season. So the message coming through for many of you during Sagittarius season, a lot of the attacking energies may have picked up. And that was because their desperation started to kick in, because there was something about something that occurred during Sagittarius season, whether it was like the eclipse energies, the aftermath of the eclipse, I don't know. But there was something about Sagittarius season that made it real, that they had to really try their best to cover their asses. But what I'm really seeing is that it's like it's a last ditch attempt. Like, a lot of these people know that what they're doing isn't going to work, but they're desperate and they're just like, I have to try kind of energy. And if I don't try, I'm, like, I don't know how to explain it, but that's how it's coming through. It's like they know they're on the end of a losing battle, but it's just like, I have to try kind of thing. And I think, like, if we were in that position, I don't think any of you would put yourself in the position to purposely hurt someone you say you love, or you care about, or anyone for that matter, the way that these people have. But let's say that you were in this situation and you were about to go down, you'd probably fight till your last breath too. So that's the energy we have. We have, you are good enough, full moon in Virgo. Okay, so you might be dealing with a Virgo, or a Pisces. Pisces season might be of significance. Alrighty, Pisces, of course, is 12th house energy. That is to do with the end of karmic cycles. That's to do with hidden enemies. That's to do with structures, systems, energies that try to keep you enslaved and imprisoned. 6th house energy with the Virgo is to do with your daily routine, your ability to look after yourself, health-wise, emotionally, mentally. It's concerned with all of the things that make up your day-to-day earthly reality and what it is you need in order to keep that to keep that in balance, right? The Gemini energy, the 3rd house energy is all about the roots of how you learn how to communicate your truth. Okay, it's often very much to do with your sibling dynamics, or if it's not sibling dynamics, if you're an only child, then your interaction with other children and even parentally, but especially it's kind of how you learn to articulate yourself within a group of your peers at a young age. That has a big effect on, throat. So this is, throat chakra energy. It's also to do, like I said, with siblings, and also like education, short-term travel, short courses, etc. 4th house energy is all to do with your relationship with not only your earthly mother, but the feminine principle of God and your ancestry, generational things, generational cycles, and how you have developed who you are through your family base. Okay? So, as such, some of these things that are coming out are to do with family. They are to do with things that have occurred for you since you were a child, restrictions that have been placed on you in that way. Cancer energy is to do with, I'm trying to think of the body part, it's to do with your breast and the chest. So I'm trying, there are no messages coming through concerning that. Okay, and Gemini is to do with your hands, what you're able to, how you're able to communicate whatever, if you're a healer, for example, how you're able to communicate through that medium, but how you're also able to communicate who you are through what you create with your hands. And Virgo energy is to do with your digestive health, which we know is like the seat of your immunity also. For some of you, your ability to maintain a schedule that has felt right for you has been very much under attack over the past month and a half or two. Because for some of you, whatever it is, that energy that was coming through of how prolific you are, It has to do with you expressing yourself. It has to do with something that you're going to either do with your hands as a healer, or you could be an artist of some kind. It doesn't only have to be your hands with Gemini energy. As I said, it also has to do with your throat and your voice. Only because of the mercurial energy that's behind. Taurus rules the throat, but Gemini has that mercurial energy. So because Gemini follows Taurus, Taurus is over the throat, but Gemini is how that is communicated and it goes out into the world. So for some of you, that was a block. Like some of you may have been, especially in the past, like I said, Sagittarius and Capricorn season, been trying to put yourself together to rise into what it is that you know you've been sent here to do, and you've been facing a lot of blockages, whether they were external or whether you felt them. So the way these energies sometimes come out, especially because, here we go, because you're dealing with third and fourth house energies, because you're dealing with like childhood stuff, like how you developed your own voice and confidence to use your voice based upon how you interacted with siblings or peers your age. And then also we have this Cancerian fourth house energy of family and mother. For some of you, this very well is like mother and sibling energy, and this is very common. It's being outed right now, but it's more common than even if it's not as sinister as some of these stories. It's a very common thing that people learn. People's voices are shut down through family structures, and people who in adulthood might be very shy. The only reason that they might be shy is because they're extremely creative. I just saw this video about this on Instagram. I think it was yesterday. So this is confirmation. And what he was saying is like, it was like a light bulb moment when I woke up and I realized that I'm not actually shy. It's just that I was extremely creative and expressive as a child, and at every turn that was shut down. It was discouraged. I was made fun of, etc. There's something here about that energy purposely being rewoken in you to play on the childhood wounds. It's almost like you already have this barrier to come up against when you put yourself out there because of what it is you've been through. Whoever it is that's been doing this against you knows this too. This is somebody who intimately knows the intricacies of your emotional makeup from childhood. And this is why this journey is so important, the healing of the inner child wounds, because when you heal and you accept the vivaciousness that they tried to drown out, then when they try to come against you and use that wounding, it's easier for you to see, oh, this isn't me. I've actually healed that part of myself. This is someone else trying to unearth and help and make me remember what it felt like when I was wounded as a child, and back then before I healed myself as an adult. There's a lot of timeline fuckery that goes on with these kind of energies, pulling people back and keeping them stuck in old realities in order to stop them from progressing, because some of you have, like I said, whatever it is you're here to do, it's prolific. It's like that dandelion that goes everywhere. You get what I'm saying? You have a message with the Gemini to communicate to the world. For some of you, it has to do with overcoming the things that you've overcome through childhood, through family, through this. So there's something here about causing like mental and emotional blocks, so that when you would try to get yourself organized and a schedule going with this, like you would do something and you would be pushed back because you lose your drive, you lose your confidence. You know, it could have been internal, or there could have literally been external situations. Like that person is the one who's always in your energy whenever it's time to do it, or you hear that voice, or that person calls you. Okay? Let's see what else came out. So these came out in reverse. Very interesting. We have the full moon in Capricorn, which again is Cancer energy. Okay, so the end of a tough cycle approaches. So the message that was coming through to me is that for some of you, this cycle was supposed to have been done around the full moon in Capricorn. Okay, this cycle was supposed to be done in Cancer season. For some of you, it was, and this is residual energy, but There's something here about them putting blocks to keep something going, okay? So yeah, there's very strong Cancerian energy. Again, the full moon Capricorn rules over your 10th house. So now we got father energy up in here. Okay, it's father energy, and it's how you relate to the male principle of God, right? But it's also about your fame, it's about your success, it's about your reputation, it's about the way people see you in the world publicly. Okay, and then we have the new moon in Aries. Oh wait, we have two cards. We have adjustments are required, and we have the new moon in Aries. It's time to take action. And Aries energy is the first house, so it's all about how you see yourself. You know, it's the foundation of who you are. It's your I am energy. It's your divine identity that then you move through each of the houses, expressing it in different ways. You get what I'm saying? So by the time you get from the first house to the 10th house, this is your divine identity expressed in a group of professional peers for the most part. And there's something here about them trying to mess with how you connect to your divine identity and trying to control a narrative around you whereby you would keep an identity that they have projected upon you to serve the purpose in their little story that they needed you to serve in order to enact or do whatever it is that they were doing. Okay, so we do have adjustments are required, third quarter moon. That was also in reverse with this. So I'm getting there was something in Aries. The beginning of the astrological year was actually, I remember this, it was April 1st of this year. So there's something about that energy at that time, or Cancer season, where there was fuckery that occurred. Like these are times where these energies were put in, okay? But there's also something here about by next Cancer season, by June, by Gemini season, Cancer season, by by the end of May through the beginning of July, there's something big that's this is going to be over with, for one thing, okay? There's something about this Capricorn season, like no matter what they try to do at this point, like for many of you, the reason these energies were able to come in and do certain things is because there was still something that had to be revealed. You didn't have the full revelation of what was happening, and it was all about you knowing that, so you could climb higher in your power and your truth. That's what it was. Okay, so ironically, the things that they try to throw at you to destroy you are actually the way that you garner back more of your divine gifts and wealth. So, you know, so there were adjustments required on both sides. They were not ready to give up whatever it was they were doing, but it worked in your favor because you were able to further gain full knowledge and clarity about certain things. More things were able to come to the light. I'm seeing with this moon that it seems to be in its half moon state. So you were only really seeing half the story. You needed to see more. You needed to see or know or experience the depths of some of the things that these people situations were trying to do. Okay, this Capricorn season, all of this is wrapping up. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. And as these things wrap up by the actual full moon in Capricorn, that is likely going to occur, I think probably in July. It will be in Cancer season. Yeah, this is very interesting energy because you can see here we have the full moons. We have the last full moon out here. We have the full moon that's coming up. So there's something big about this Capricorn season and the Sagittarius, like that was providing the shift in energy. It's like almost like what we're in right now with these 3 days from solstice to, you know, what they conventionally call Christmas Day, of when the sun is still, but really what it's doing is it's recalibrating, it's refueling, it's re-energizing. Not necessarily the sun is doing that, but that's kind of the energy of what we're in. And And this is what you're in right now. But come the end of Capricorn season, you would have been regenerated. And it's like for some of you, this is what they're trying to tap into. They're trying to tap into your regenerative solar energies. And they'll be denied access this time. The winter solstice is about aligning with divine destiny. It's when your masculine and feminine energies also come into harmonious union. And it's also about the accessing your divine gold print, and being able to live it. It's about bringing to life your Christ energy. It's about bringing to life the golden child energy, which is, when Isis and Osiris came together and birthed Taurus. That's what the solstice is about. And for some of you, whatever golden child energy you have, it's big. And not only is it big, it's been like some kind of sustenance for this group of people, these 5 to 10 people for a while. And they tried to get it again from you. Sometime like earlier on this year, they tried to put things to block you from accessing it. And now that's not going to happen anymore. It's over. And by the new moon in Aries, you're going to feel replenished. You're going to feel replenished. So keep doing what you're doing. Keep speaking your truth, standing in your truth, owning your truth. Don't let them silence you in any way. Yeah. And then also we have this. It's a time for healing. So this is kind of the energy I'm getting for you. You are here to walk divinely in your power, put out your message if you have a message to give, put out your art, your creations, your writing, whatever it is that you've divinely been sent to share with the earth that is eventually going to be prolific. Keep on pushing past the energies that are trying to come against you right now. Don't wear yourself out, but stand up and and create, so that it's very clear to the universe that you're not allowing these energies to dictate your path anymore. And as you do that, you're going to find that your vital life force is going to increase. And you might not even recognize 1717 on my clock as I say that. That's star card energy. Woo! That's stars aligning for you to live what you are destined to be. This is beautiful energy to end on by blah blah. But by the new moon in Aries, whenever that is, I don't know if it's March or April, I don't know this year, but by the new moon in Aries, you might not even recognize yourself, and you might not even recognize them because, well, you know why. Anyway, guys, this is what I have for you. I hope this reading and scrying session was helpful and insightful. It was so much fun. I think I'm going to scry more often. A lot of my gifts are coming back now, and yeah, that was great. I wish you guys the best. Please make sure to hit the like button if you're liking what I'm putting out. You can hit the notification button if you want to know when I am posting. You can follow me over on TikTok. It's Solarah with an H Reads. I had to think about that. If you're interested in my services or working one-to-one with me, you can check out my website. That information is below. You can email me if you have any queries. That information is below too. If you'd like to support me beyond just your likes and your shares and your subscribes, and you'd like to donate to the channel, you can also do that. My PayPal and Cash App information is below too. So I wish you guys a beautiful solstice. I will be back again soon, I'm sure. Sending you so much love and solar energy right now, okay? Be blessed.